Sorry guys, I really meant to turn this on sooner so you get your behind the scenes look. But the piece that I'm making here is so I can just drop my hammers down and they're going to sit right here. So I can put, 4 or 5 hammers that I normally use. Now this right here is a piece that I just made, one of my Hardy tools, but this is what I've been using to make this piece exactly. But yeah, I forge welded part of it, and then I stick welded the rest of it, just to, well, because I'm a welder. But yeah, this piece has been working great. And then learning how to use the different parts of my anvil. It's so much fun learning how to do this. But again, I'm just setting myself up for success through the rest of the year. And so whenever I mount this, again, like I said, it's going to have to where the hammers will sit down, and so then I can pull up the ones I commonly use. But let's see where we're at here, because what I'm doing, I got a little bit out here, so I want to bring that back in, and we need to settle this down, get her flattened out, and then now I do need to work that a little bit. She's not quite square with each other, but that's okay. That's a good thing about metal. All you got to do is heat it up, and you can bring it back to where it needs to go. Let's see if I can hook that and turn it. Get a little bit of a twist to bring it back in. If not, what I can do though is come in and, which I'm going to do, and flip this around. I want to heat this side up because I got a little bit of a bend over here. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it kind of goes off this way, so I can bring that back in, and then I can bring these guys, and they're almost there where I want them. But then whenever I bring it in, because I'm going to do some other little things, I left myself enough metal, but I'm also going to bring this back in on both sides, where I'm going to curl this down and curl this down. And so it'll bring this in, but leave little bubble loops over here. And it's something that I saw on the another one of the YouTuber guys, but and just how he had his set up. But it left me enough that I was able to measure outside here. So whenever I do the bends down in, it's going to be just wide enough to fit all my handles. And that way the top of the hammer sits on this, the handles go down. And because again, this is one of my favorites here. Then this guy, love this hammer right here. Now this one I hate, but God, it can move some metal. One of these days, whenever I'm rich and famous and I can get me a power hammer, I won't need this guy anymore. But until then, I've got to go with the old 4-pounder with the long swing on it, and my elbow and Aspen cream. Then the other one is just another little fella, and it's great to just move things around, and I have another half dozen hammers sitting over there, but these are the ones that I like using, and I want to be able to put them down where they just sit right there. But yeah, all right, that guy's about ready. Let me get these hammers out of the way, and because this one right here is this is one of them perfect horseshoeing hammers, and whenever you're forging that horseshoe around, and then if you need to go ahead and drive some horseshoe nails into it, this is a great one to do it with. But this guy, my little 4, all right, so what we want to do now, go ahead and just a little bit of that kink out, and then the rest of it is getting this set up to where we can get that bend right. That's hot. I'm pretty sure y'all didn't need to be here to know that that was hot, huh? Oh yeah, there we go. Look at that. Look at that fall right in line, right where we want it to. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start that little bubble. So to do that, we're going to bring this in here. We want to really over exaggerate and so I'm going to go ahead and give it that Z kink, and then I'm going to flip it now and put the other in. And so now I can do the same thing to the other side, and then what I'll be able to do then is hammer down so it'll bring them back both to straight. But as I bring them back both to straight, it's going to shrink that end and close it down a little bit, so it'll be able to fit all the hammers. And then the last thing that I'm going to do is right here on that round point, I'm going to take that, I'm going to flatten it out, and then I'm going to go ahead and drift my holes, and I'm going to punch through, and that way I can nail that in, and if need be, then I'll go ahead and weld to this band here on top. But I should be able to get away with flattening it out enough and being able to draw out enough steel with what's there to get it flat enough that I can get one drift hole here, one drift hole here, and then forge it around that band, that top band right there. But all right, guys, I'll come back here in a little bit and let you see where we're at. Love y'all.